Hey, someone had asked me about taking terrain paints from one level to the other. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to go to the Steam library where the game is installed in common BeamNG content levels and decide which ones you want. I mean, out of which level. Um, Small Island I like, but I know some people like stuff on different levels, so let's go to Jungle Rock Island. Let's extract this on the desktop. And I already have a level that's converted to PBR. That is a level I've been working on. Assuming you have your own level that you damn, that's weird. Oh, like I said, it stopped. Assuming you have your own level already, um, we'll go. Oh, that's. Wait a minute. Let this finish. I should have already done this, I guess. I think I'm. There we go. All right. So in the levels in see the art terrains folder. This is where your terrains are. Now this ain't like the old ways where you used to could just rename stuff in the main.materials.json file. Those days are done as far as the being able to do that. So here's what you need to do. Pick one that you want. Say, let me find one that's not in the other one. Dirt, forest. Forest ain't on Small Island, I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure it's not. So here's what you're gonna do. You can just copy this stuff because you're just gonna use it for reference. You're not gonna actually get to use this, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna stick this on the desktop in a notepad, or just a text document, just so I can refer back to it. Alright, so the first thing you'll notice is it's 2048 for the base texture size. And I made a video on this before for another map, but you can go through each one of these and then find them in here and copy just them over. But just to save time, I'm going to just copy them all over, so I know they're all in there. But that would be unnecessary. That's like, well, that ain't that much. It's only 100 megs. Alright, so these are going to now go into my level, assuming you have your own level. This level just happens to be called PBR. And in the art terrains, I'll paste these images. If any of them want to overwrite the other, I'll just skip these because we don't want duplicates. All right, so now load the level. I believe after you see this process, you'll probably say, you know what, I'm good with just those textures that came with that level, because it's quite time consuming. So we'll load my level. And when it loads, we'll go into the editor, F11. Surely, you already know that. Alright, so let's go over here. There's nothing over here. Terrain tools, terrain painter, and yeah, forest is not in here, so we'll add that one. So you go to the terrain material library. Now in here, you won't mess with any of this stuff. You'll make a new material. I'll just call it what it is, forest. And I hit enter. I'm just going ahead and say add material so that it appears over here. Now that it's over here, I'll add the stuff to it. So let me slide this over so I can get my text document at the same time in the picture. We're going to be looking at both. So the first thing is the base texture color. So for forest, it tells you, let me make this smaller. There we go. Yeah, like not in order at all. Damn. So the base color, not detail, just the base color, base texture is tterrain base b.png. So you'll pick that by you can try to do the bulk texture change, and I'm not getting all my stuff this way on my screen. We'll try the bulk texture change first. Tterrain base b.png. You know what? I just realized that's a different terrain. That's not Jungle Rock. That's Small Island base B. So they use the same names. Let me make sure. Let me go back to the desktop and double check, because if that's the case, then you got a problem. You have to rename the stuff. Damn, that's a lot of work. Where is it? Jungle Rock Island, levels, Jungle Rock Island, art, terrains, terrain. Yeah, see, it's a different, that's a different image. So the only thing you can do, you can just rename it. Damn. They use the same names for all this stuff. Oh my goodness. Well, not all of them. I mean, forest floor, but tterrain base B, tterrain base H, macro clumpy. I'm sure all these are duplicates, except they're not duplicates. They're actually different images. Oh man. Yeah, this is a big pain in the ass to do. Alright, so we'll just rename this. Put a 1 in it. But I'll put a 1 here too, so I know what I just did. Alright, now I'll copy this and drop it in that same folder so that it'll appear in here. Let me open up a second. Terrains. Alright, that's not the one I need to be in. levels, your level, art, terrains, paste. Alright, see, now we got a different terrain base B. So that's what you have to do. Have to. Apparently they're using the same naming. So, reclose that so I can rebrowse for it. I'm not going to do the bulk texture change because it's just going to cause problems. I just have to go through these one at a time. Now I'm going to copy this to my clipboard, paste it, so I don't have to keep manually going, because all these that don't have anything in it, you're going to have to navigate to this every single time back to that folder, and that's just more work than I'm willing to do. T terrain base B1 open. Okay, what's the macro? The macro is, oh me, base color macro, base color detail, base color macro texture is T forest overcorrect B. T forest overcorrect B. Alright, the detail texture is T forest floor B. Alright, the normal map is T terrain base NM. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a different texture. T terrain base NM, yeah. So we're going to rename this one and put a 1. I already see this one. Hell, all these, I'm just going to put a 1 in them because I can already see that we're going to be using them, but we can't use them unless we change the name. Alright. Copy. And now I'm just putting these over back into the other folder, which is our level. Or your level, I should say. Alright, so now they're in there. We'll probably have more to do, but for now, that's all we need in there. Let's get this file. Oh man, I gotta copy that down again. Alright, it says T terrain base NM. T terrain base NM 1. I put a 1, remember. The next one, the macro is the normal base, normal macro is T macro clumpy NM. Alright, is this a different clumpy than the other clumpy? T. Now this is Jungle Rock Island, so I'm just comparing the image. T macro clumpy NM. Alright, that is that one. Let's compare it to the other one. T macro clumpy NM. Is that the same? No, that's different. Alright, so that means all these are going to be, man, goodness. Alright, so let's just do them as we need them. Or we may end up having to do more, we may end up doing more work than we need to. T macro clumpy NM, put a 1 in front of it, copy it, paste it in your level. T macro clumpy, oh goodness. T macro clumpy NM1. Next, detail. The detail normal texture is T forest floor NM. Well, luckily that is one that is not like the others, so we can just pick that one. T forest, what was it? T forest floor NM. T forest floor NM. Okay, next is roughness. The roughness base texture is roughness base texture is T terrain base R, which I believe that is one that we already put a number 1 in front of. T terrain base R. T terrain base R1. Yeah. Macro. So the detail macro is the macro detail T forest floor NM. T forest floor NM. Detail texture for the detail map is and this is under roughness. Roughness detail texture is T forest floor R. T forest floor R. Alright, only 2 more to go. Ambient occlusion. The base texture for ambient occlusion, that is up at the top. Ambient occlusion base texture is T terrain base AO. Which we put a 1 in front of that one too. T terrain base AO. AO1. Macro for the ambient occlusion is T macro clumpy AO. Alright, let's go get that one. T macro clumpy. T macro clumpy AO. Let's put a number 1 in front of it. Or after it, I mean. And let's move it into the other folder of the other terrain. Alright, now let's grab it. T terrain macro AO. Is that it? No, that was not it. It was T macro clumpy AO. T macro clumpy AO1. Detail. Base. Oh, damn phone ringing got me off track. Alright, the ambient occlusion detail is T forest floor AO. T forest floor AO. Forest floor AO. There we go. Lastly, height map. Height base texture is T terrain base H. Should we put a little 1 after that one also? T terrain base H 1. Macro for the height map is T macro clumpy H. Well, there's another one we gotta redo. T macro clumpy H. There's a little 1 in there. T macro clumpy H1. And then move it into the other folder. Let's grab it. T macro clumpy. What did I say? Damn. We're in height map. T macro clumpy H1. T macro clumpy H1. And lastly, this is the last one. The detail for the height is T forest floor H. T forest floor H. T forest floor H. Open. Okay, now save changes to file. Now we should have a working forest floor texture. If we go to our terrain painter, oh, we have to still add it. So add forest. There's our forest, and look at that beautiful forest floor. Now, of course, this does not have the foliage, you know, like whatever is on Jungle Rock Island, that foliage is not in here. You'd have to do it like we made this grass earlier, but you'd have to find where the assets are. You'd have to just load Jungle Rock Island, pick the forest, and see what assets are being drawn on it. But you'd have to go to the different ground covers. You can just type it up here in the scene tree when you load the level, ground covers, and you can go through and find out which ones. Click on each one and go to the inspector and open up the types. Check the types in here, and it should tell you which shapefile names are associated with forest. And you'll know it's forest floor because you'll see it written right, you know, wherever you see it. And if you don't see it, go to the next one, and the next one, the next one. Check them all, however many there are. And just write it down so you know which ones you need to get. And then you'll have to copy those items. And then you'll have to make the textures for those items, which that's another thing that you got to do. It's a lot to do. I'm not going to get into that, but I just showed you how to do the terrain paint on the PBR level, how to swap it or to add another one from another level. And I bet you're probably thinking, you know, that's a lot to do. I'm good with the ones that came with this level.